takes several hours and some blood, sweat, and tears to prepare and cook the perfect pastelón. It's a signature dish in my family, also lovingly known as Puerto Rican kugel. I'll paraphrase the steps. First, you fry the sofrito, the garlic, the onion, the pepper, then you add the ground beef, then you put this tray and you cut layers of sweet plantains, you add some mozzarella cheese, you add some more ground beef, you add some more spices, then you pop it into the oven to cook at the perfect temperature. Anyway, I remember some years ago, my good church-going mom prepared this dish for the ladies' club at my dad's synagogue. My father was getting more involved in temple at the time, and my mom began attending with him. When she arrived to the ladies' club potluck, the woman at the door named Barb welcomed her with open arms. My mom excitedly handed over her meat cheese masterpiece. Barb thanked her profusely and then said, "I'm sorry, we can't eat this, it's not kosher." My mother, brokenhearted, responded, "But it's really good." The next month, Mom, determined to get it right this time, decided to forget about bringing food. She'll just bring wine. Well, you can imagine what happened next. At the door, she was greeted by that same friendly face saying, "Thank you, but we can't take this." My mother, now stunned, asked, "Wine has to be kosher too?" Now, before you think any less of my amazing mother or of the value of kashrut, I imagine most of us here in this room have had our fair share of food faux pas. Am I right? We are an interfaith community, after all, and I've heard some of your stories of Christmas ham clogging up the drain, of burned brisket, of oxidized gelt, and of Easter eggs getting stuck in the tailpipes of cars. You know who you are. These are your stories. Now, that's the beauty and messiness of family, especially interfaith families like ours. You know, navigating food and table fellowship is not a new struggle. Our biblical ancestors went through it too. Before there was the word Christian, there were Jesus followers who identified also as Jewish. And these folks were trying to discern if they should continue to keep kosher. Their decision would affect their ability to share meals with their literal Jewish siblings, as well as their Jesus-following Gentile friends. It was a complicated turning point that left people wondering, if we don't agree on the same food laws, can we have a place at the same table? Truth be told, the struggles over meals were only a piece of a larger crisis. These interfaith loved ones were trying to figure out if and how they could do life together. Could they worship and live side by side across lines of difference? Their pain and worry were real, and there was no such place as IFFP for them to go. Looking around the room, I know that many of us here are feeling especially worried about our own tables this week. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, many of us will soon welcome in or travel to see relatives and friends, some with whom we get along with in every way, and some with whom we have deep disagreements. And with the world as fraught as it is, this may be the first year that some of us feel uncertain about where the dinner conversations could lead, or how we can gracefully change the subject. Last Friday, our board chair, Jennifer Lukisis, was kind enough to send an email out offering us some valuable tips on how to navigate potentially difficult table talk. Things like, remember to breathe, step away when needed, have a trusted wingman, thank someone for their perspective, even if it differs from your own. Our biblical ancestors could have used tips like these when navigating their own tables. Instead, they got a man named Paul. Now, Paul felt this table dilemma acutely. He too was one of those early Jesus followers who also identified as Jewish. His writings would eventually become foundational to Christian thought. He ultimately didn't think Jesus followers needed to keep kosher, but not want that to undermine the kosher values his Jewish siblings held dear. Everything is indeed clean, he writes, but it is wrong to make someone stumble by what you eat. It is good not to eat meat or drink wine or do something that makes your brother or sister stumble. This is profound. Paul has the power to say, go ahead, separate the tables. It's too hard to move forward as diverse community. Instead, he says, push the tables together. Add some more chairs even. Choose unity. Choose fellowship. Choose love. Put your individual needs aside in order to help each other never stumble. Sometimes referred to as the original vegetarian, Paul insists it is better for us to steer clear of serving meat entirely than let a little pastelón divide us. If we're honest with ourselves, we know it is easier to separate our tables. People do it all the time. We cancel engagements, we cancel each other, we shut people up, we shut people out. But if we soak Paul's message in, if we soak the heart of this place that we come to in, we know that we are a community of tables pushed together. We are a people who have chosen to do life side by side while honoring our differences, leaning on our faith traditions, embracing all the messy and the beautiful things that come with it. What we have signed up for or been born into is filled with great challenges and possibilities, faux pas, and a whole lot of grace and gratitude. In a time of deep division, we have the capacity to respect and make space at our tables and beyond for differing choices and identities, beliefs and perspectives. Instead of building higher walls, we can build longer tables where everyone has the chance to be seen and heard, to recount stories and to listen, to share food and to share laughter, to connect through prayer and acts of kindness, to access some of the healing and the hope we so hunger for these days. We so need. The truth is, friends, the table has never been a place where we all must agree. The table is where we all must belong. So pull up a chair and invite each other to take a seat. We have plenty to share and plenty of work to do.